Gender equality is BS. I say so because it's a social construct that a man and a woman have certain roles within society. It is based on trends, norms, and history, and not who an individual is within themselves. I'm Latia, and I grew up as my father's son and my mother's daughter. Now, most people would hear that and be like, what? Like, you were your dad's son and your mom's daughter? Like, how does that work? And it works when you are the type of person who is like, okay, my dad only has daughters and he always wanted a son. And in some ways, I'm like a little bit offended, like, wow, I'm sorry that my female body is unacceptable to you. And it was also like, okay, I see you, Dad. I don't want you to feel like you didn't get the son that you got. So let me honor what a son would have been. Let me be independent. Let me be strong. Let me provide for my family. Let me be there for you in ways that like you would hope a son would. Like, I am going to be the bearer of our family name and like carry on our legacy. Not necessarily like if I get married, my husband's going to take my name or anything like that, because like, I don't know who I'm going to marry or how he's going to feel about it. But Jefferson's a dope last name, so can't discount it. Like, I just moved to the Upper East Side and that theme song was playing in my head. I was like, they already knew my life. Like, thank you. And also, for my mom, I felt like she wanted daughters and wanted to be a mom to girly girls. And, you know, even though she always limited us and was like, wait till you're 16 today, wait till you're 13 for nail polish, and all these very conservative rules that sucked. That's just how things were. So the funny thing about being my father's child in a general sense is that my dad is such a loving person. He is like sweet, sensitive, emotional, just expressive, creative. He's willing to dress up as a woman or a nerd on Halloween and he doesn't care. Like, I went to this girl summit and I was wearing a robe and people were like, oh, like, you go girl, you're great. And it's like, just wearing a robe. It's cold. And yeah, I did have a moment where I was like, I'm about to wear a robe in front of 1,000 strangers. That's weird. And then I was like, but I'm cold and who cares? Like, if you're bothered by me wearing a robe, check yourself. Like, why? But then the even funnier thing about being my mom's child is that my mom is very shy and reserved. She's like very timid, very like calm, cool, and collected. My mom is the type of the woman who's like, you know, I like that man. I really cared about him. We had a great relationship. It was so much fun. And I keep it moving. I'm not gonna stop for you. Like, I would love it if we could continue this journey, and I've got more things to do. Like, I have a life to live and a mission I'm on. Like, I'm creating, you know, my business. I'm building taking care of my family. My mom was the strong one. She was the stoic one. Even last night, I was talking to my dad and I'm just like, Dad, I love you. I appreciate you. You're so wonderful and awesome. And I get that people will be like, you're feminine and you're not a man, but you're a man. You're my dad. You're always my dad. You are my hero. I love you. And so he's shedding tears and we're connecting and having a great time. I'm like, this is my dad, that strong man that I love. The strong person who raised me, who taught me to be emotionally expressive and open. And now I'm talking to my mom. Mom, I'm so excited. It's so wonderful, amazing. I hear you, baby. And I'm just like, thanks, Mom, for allowing my words to wash across your eardrums. I'm just, thank you. I appreciate the space that you're allowing me to take in your life. And she's like, well, I'm tired and I'm this. And you know I don't show emotions. I'm like, I know you don't. Dad and I were talking. I was like, Dad, Mom is the type of person where unless she's very happy and laughing, very sad and like down, which I don't think I've seen very much if at all, at funerals. Only at funerals, honestly. Maybe. Or if she watches a sad movie, sometimes she does. And then if she's ready to like punch me in the face and like she is upset and she uses the P word, because that's how you know it's real, because she's just like, I'm peed. And I'm just like, ooh, wow. They're like, I am literally the only child that my mom has slapped in their headspace. Like, not like in my face, like in the back of my head. And it shut me up. I was like, I went too far. My bad. And I was like mad. I'm like, ooh, I just want to say something. And I was like, I pushed her to new levels. We can't. So for me, it's fascinating because my dad is the sensitive one and my mom is the stoic one. And according to gender norms, they'd be like, so my mom was my dad and my dad was my mom, but they're just my parents. My dad has the penis and my mom has the vagina. It's like that simple. So my 3 steps to honoring yourself as a whole human being instead of limiting yourself to your gender or your energy or however you want to look at it starts with recognizing the difference between your sex and your gender and who you say you are. I say that because in biological terms, your sex are your genitals. If you have a penis, that makes you a male. If you have a vagina, that makes you a female. So it's like, we're still human beings. It's just like this region here, this private region that you only know and you are told to keep to yourself, that is what's defining your gender or how you see yourself or what you think you're capable of. And masculine and like number 2, as in my 3-step process, masculine and feminine, those are kind of bullshit too. Because what we've done in our society is we say masculine is individual, it is logical, it is practical and finds solutions and reasons. But we also conflate that with man. So now we have a man who is defined individually on his traits, and we also call him masculine. And you need to follow these masculine principles of kill or be killed, be a warrior, get shit done, destructive, maybe, we don't know. Feminine is a lot emotional. It is soft and nurturing and loving and kind of sexy too, like, oh, I'm a woman, help me. And it is seen as weak and like nurturing. There's also a relational aspect of femininity that I find fascinating because it's like women need to talk to each other. Women need to be in groups. Women need women around them to be strong and powerful. No, that's a lie. And that's a lie because what happens is now these feminine standards, these feminine energy, feminine people, women, like emotions, now it's seen as, oh, you're not an individual. You are your parents. You are your siblings. You are your children. You are your partner. You are your friends. Now it's like the difference between, oh, hi, Dr. Man. Oh, hi, wife of Dr. Man. And it's like you're defined by your title and role in life instead of being defined as your humanity. So why can't it be, hi, Dr. Da, and hi, Mrs. Da? Like, just like, yeah, you're Mrs., but still, like, that's her title that she has. Like, or maybe she's like, I'm a doctor. Like, forget him. I work too. But we don't allow people that opportunity to tell us how to call them and identify them. We just assume, man, individual, you got this, you're doing it. Then we assume, woman, you needed someone to get here, right? Like, who brought you in? How did you get here? Because you couldn't be here on your own. You're just too cute. And that's not fair to anyone because, like, we shouldn't be limited to, like, the assumption that if I'm masculine and male, I'm individual. And if I'm feminine, I'm, like, someone's helping me. Like, oh, I don't have a backbone to lean on. And something that happened to me growing up was that I was talking to this guy in Georgia at random, and I was like, yeah, I have a goal to do this or that. And he's like, that's real masculine of you. And I was like, okay, cool. And then it's masculine of me. And it doesn't bother me, but I like to tell the story to people because they're like, oh my gosh, did he really say that? Da, 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 da. And it's like, nah, I mean, based in our society, goals and ambitions and dreams and, like, not necessarily dreams, goals, ambitions, and being driven are masculine. Dreaming is feminine. Visualizing is feminine. Affirmations are most likely feminine. I am beautiful and I am strong. It's like we're all trying to, like, tell ourselves who we are and create our identities. But creating is feminine. It's emotional. It's expressive. It's creative. It's like right brain versus left brain, whichever way works for you. And what we've done is just, like, perverted it. Like, we've made it weird. It's just like some people are artistic and creative and sensitive and emotional, and some people are logical and numbers and words, or more numbers and calculations and things like that. So it's like the difference between doing math and then doing art. It's like, to me, they're like one, because, like, you can use math to do your art and your art to do your math. But when we did a test, I'm a whole brain person, so I've always known I have both hands and, like, however I want to juggle it. And the third thing is being willing, be willing to be human and define yourself as you see fit. Be willing to go through all of these labels and things and see that, yeah, I'm a human. I have emotions. I respond to things. I have feelings. And sometimes I need to be masculine and set goals to give myself direction. So what if we could be a blend of masculine, feminine, man, woman, male, female, logical, emotional, whatever you want to call it, but I'm a whole human being. And I've always wanted to just be a whole human being. I've always just wanted to be Latia. I didn't want to be, oh, you're Latia, you're so sexy free. Oh, you're Latia, you're so freaking smart. Oh, you're Latia, you're this or that. It's like, yeah, I'm Latia and I'm nerdy, I'm smart, I'm athletic, I model, I like to draw naked people because the figure drawing is great. I like being a data engineer because it's logical, and the numbers and the technology is usually, if it works well, amazing. Whereas the people, some days I'm like, yeah, let's be social and help people at work. At work, usually I'm like, oh my gosh, don't talk to me, leave me alone. Slack sucks, everyone sucks. Can I just do stuff and then deal with you? But it's I have to learn to multitask in that way that I don't want to. But in daily life, if I meet you on the street and I'm like, oh man, what's going on? You need someone to talk to? I am willing to move my schedule around for other people, because we are all humans in this human condition where we have so much power, yet we don't know how to use it. We are God afraid. That is one of my favorite quotes about people that I've heard. But to recap, if you're willing to reassess gender versus sex, one is a social construct, the other is a biological reality. And for those people who are transgender or whatever, you have the opportunity to define yourself as you see fit. You don't have to use your sex to define your gender. You can call yourself whatever you want, because unless I'm getting in your pants or whipping off your clothes, what you have is not important to anyone else. So define yourself as you see fit, because it's your life and you have your story. Two is acknowledge that maybe it's possible masculine and feminine are code words for emotional versus logical, or logical versus emotional, depending on the ordering. But we're taking our right brain, left brain thing and making it into something about sexuality and who you are as a person. And it's not that complicated. It's just, are you logical or emotional? Some people are both, some people are more one than the other, and that's okay. And then the third thing is, let's just be humans. And let's be humans who allow other humans to be and define themselves as they see fit. Because it's not what I say about you that matters, but what you say about you that matters. And most people are too afraid to honor their narrative and to correct people when they get it wrong. And I get it, it's scary, because I don't do it all the time either. But gender is nonsense, and gender equality is nonsense, because most people try to take it as a tit for tat. Well, if a man can do it, a woman can do it, and this and that. And when we stop worrying so much about man, female, all these frilly fun words to say, do you have a penis or a vagina? And we get down to the heart of it, and it's, do you meet the physical qualifications and demand that this role takes? Are you the person with the skills and tool set that it takes to make this successful? And if the answer is yes, we should not care if you're white, black, brown, purple, man, woman, penis, you have everything, you're a hermaphrodite, whatever you are, that should not stop you from getting a job. And that is where our problem lies, is that people are using these things to hold other people back when they could be great at it. Because my thought that comes to mind when people are well, if you want gender equality, why aren't women in the draft? Because I'll be damned if I have some little woman trying to save me as a firefighter, and she's 4'3", can't carry a baby, and you think she's gonna save my life? Maybe she will, because that woman instinct will kick in, but maybe she won't. And now we have to wait for someone else to help. So it's let's not get caught up in stupid, oh, it must be 100% parity. No, there's a difference between parity and tit for tat and being an idiot, and acknowledging that there are people who are cut out for different roles and allowing them to contribute to the fullest of their potential and desire to contribute. We're different. We're human. We are complicated, and it's perfect. So I'll have a link to something amazing in my description. And if you haven't seen my video about being a smarty pants, you should check it out, because it's great. So see you there.